Is it now time for the pound US dollar to erase the Bank of England's falls? On Thursday last week, the Bank of England did make a 50 basis point rate hike, but it was completely as expected. However, the decision was ultimately seen as a dovish one, as the Bank of England left open the possibility that that could be the last rate hike of the current cycle. Furthermore, on another dovish note, the vote split showed that whereas in December's meeting there was a 6-3 vote split with two voters, Tenrea and Dingra, voting for no rate change, but one member, Catherine Mann, voting for a larger 75 basis point rate hike where their colleagues only raised 50 basis points. That was a 6-3 split, 2 dovish, 1 hawkish. But on Thursday's meeting last week, the vote split changed to 7-2. 2 voted for no change as they did last time, which was Tenrea and Dingra. But Catherine Mann, instead of voting for a 75 basis point rate hike, she only voted for a 50 basis point rate hike. So that meant, on balance, the Bank of England's messaging and vote split was more dovish, and the pound sold off quite markedly in line with that buy the rumour, sell the fact and more dovish response. Now, at the time, we did notice that seasonally speaking, the pound US dollar does tend to lose value after a Bank of England rate hike. You can see here the event is a rate hike, and going into the event, the pound peaks and then tends to fall through the event. Now, a week on, however, we noticed that the pound US dollar tends to pick up. So here we are, just over a week on. Will we now see the pound US dollar pick up? Is this the time for the pound US dollar to retrace? Will we see a move back up to this 1.2200 region, or will the US dollar story still dominate cable as a swathe of recent Fed speakers have repeated the need for the Fed to continue its fight against inflation, which is a hawkish dollar message and naturally against this seasonal outlook? Major trade risk. The major trade risk here, of course, is that the dollar strength prevails, that US CPI data next week surprises to the upside. That could give the dollar another boost and weakening pound US dollar further. Remember, don't just trade it, but season exit.